this problem, we want to find the focus and directrix of the parabola and then graph it. So we got 4x squared plus 2y is equal to 0. Now we have to decide which formula to use. We got two formulas. Top one is where the square root is on the x. Bottom one is where the square root is on the y. Here we got square root on the x. So we're going to use the top formula. So our goal is we want to rewrite that as x minus h squared is equal to 4p times y minus k. First off, I noticed that the x's had to be on one side, y's had to be on the other side. So I'm going to take 2y over. That gets us a step closer. Now if you look at this form, it's x minus a number or x plus a number. There's no number in front of your x. So we're going to have to divide everything by this number in front of the x to get rid of that. So we'll divide both sides by 4. Fours cancel, and we got x squared is equal to negative 2 fourths reduces to negative 1/2 y. Okay, now we need x minus or x plus a number squared. So I'm going to rewrite this as x minus 0. If you ever have a single variable, you can always do x minus 0 or x plus 0. Over on the other side, I have to have parentheses before the y. And you can always create that parentheses before the y by factoring out whatever number's there. So factor out a negative 1/2. So then we got x minus 0 squared. We want to rewrite negative 1/2 as 4 times something. Now that's not so easy to see, but we'll come back to that. And this y, we want y minus a number or y plus a number. Well, I'll put a 0 in there, so y minus 0. Or you could do y plus 0. Now since this one's not so easy to see, remember the trick. Whatever number's right here goes up on top, so we'll put negative 1/2 up on top, and then we put a 4 in the denominator. And that'll always work. Whatever number's right here goes on top, and put 4 down here. Because going backwards, the 4's would cancel, and you'd be left with this number anyway. So we haven't changed this value at all. Okay, this is going to be our h, and it's always opposite sign. So h is 0. What's inside the parentheses here is our p. And we got p is equal to, and whenever you have a single fraction up on top in the numerator like that, you can take its denominator, which is 2, and put it down with this other denominator. So this will be negative 1 over 4 times 2. Which gives us p is equal to negative 1/8. Again, if you have a single fraction up on top here, you can take its denominator and put it down with this one. And then our k will be whatever number's here, and it's always opposite sign, though 0 doesn't have a sign. So k is 0. Okay. Vertex, whether you're using the top formula or bottom formula, is always hk. So that'll be 0, 0. Now for our top formula, our focus is h comma k plus p. So that's our focus. Now h is 0, k is 0, plus p, and p was negative 1/8. So we're going to have 0 comma negative 1/8. And that's our focus. Now our directrix is y is equal to k minus p. Well, k is 0 minus p, which was negative 1/8. Negative negative becomes a positive 1/8. Okay, now to graph this. Our focus is 0, 0, right there. Or vertex, sorry, is right there, 0, 0. Focus is 0, negative 1/8. Let's say this clear over here is negative 1. Then this would be negative 4/8, and negative 1/8 maybe would be about, actually, let me do this different. I'll just say this distance here from there to there is negative 1/8, and this would be negative 2/8 if I were to complete it. Then this over here is going to be a positive 1/8, and then that would be 2/8. Okay, our focus is 0. And it helps if I can actually plot points. 0, negative 1/8, which would be right down here. So that's our focus. Our directrix is y is equal to positive 1/8. And so again, if this distance here is 1/8, then this distance is 1/8. I must graph that wrong. I actually do know how to plot points. Just wasn't doing it right there to begin with. Okay, so I drop a point somewhere. Right here. Look at the distance from my point to the focus and distance from my point to the director. So not the same. So I keep moving it until they look roughly the same to me. That's probably as close as I'm going to get. Again, this distance here from the focus to that point should be the same as that distance from that point to the directrix, forming a 90-degree angle. And I'll drop another point, eyeballing distance here. That's probably as close as I'm going to get. Again, that distance from the focus to that point should be the same as that distance from that point to the directrix, forming a 90-degree angle. Now, once you got two of the points, then you can sketch it. You know it's got a curve to it, looks like that. And so then this has got a curve to it, like that. And now be our graph.